Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to the first of hopefully many season review shows that we're going to be doing. We've taken a bit of a break actually, and I know some people might ask, why are we doing a season review for Chelsea now? Well, it's because Chelsea season is practically over. They've got one more game to go, but it's pretty much meaningless really. Chelsea secured third place. They're not going to win either of the two cup tournaments. I mean, sorry, but yeah, that's where they're at right now. Joining me, I've got Nishikant Sharma on the show. Nishikant, welcome once again. It's been a while since we've had you, but how are you doing?
Thanks for having me again, Rohit. Great to be back. Really been a while. So happy to be back here.
Yes, definitely. We're happy to have you as well. I'm sure the viewers are happy as well, so they don't have to just see my face again for yet another episode. But smash a like if you enjoy Nishikant back on the show. Smash a like on the video. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about Chelsea. I mean, what do you make of the season? I mean, itself is a weird one to start off with, but I was trying to think about it. So where do you rank Chelsea's season? Because they've technically won 2 trophies, but they also, probably would have expected more from the season. Where do you rank? But then, of course, there's the whole Roman saga as well. So where does it rank really?
Well, if I look at it objectively, at the start of the season, I didn't have a lot of hopes in terms of winning Premier League. I was hoping for a couple, maybe a domestic trophy and your Super Cup and Club World Cup kind of thing. So a couple of trophies for sure. We did win 2 of them, Super Cup and Club World Cup. So, that helped. But I think the expectations increased kind of the way we started. We were really impervious in defense, and our attack was firing as well, which has long been an Achilles heel for Chelsea, and as it has proven again this season. So I think that kind of gave a lot of hope to people, or maybe kind of portrayed us mistakenly that we could challenge for the title. But overall, I would say, it's not a good season, right? It's a good season. It's not a very good season that you could have hoped for. But if you look at it objectively, given all the situations, we have had times wherein we had 8 or 9 players out of squad, either due to injury, COVID. If you look at key players like N'Golo, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, who were key last season, and they hardly played this season, not even 50% of the games. So that really impacted us. Of course, you mentioned Roman saga. That didn't help anyone. Right. So the sanctions that came along, that really put a lot of difficulties and a lot of uncertainties around the club, and definitely affected players and staff alike mentally. Tuchel did a great job the way he handled it and everything in the media, but behind the scenes, whether people say it or not, these things affect people. Their jobs are at stake. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a good season, something that we can build upon. So I'm not too disappointed with our season, to be honest. Personally, other Chelsea fans might have different opinion. Personally, I'm not too disappointed given the things we have had to face this season. So 7 out of 10, I'd say.
7 out of 10. So Nishikant is the master of low expectations, right? And so then you can give yourself a high score when you have low expectations at the start of the season. I think it's an average season. I wouldn't say it's a bad season. I wouldn't say it's a good season. I'd say it's an average, probably 5.5, 6. Because I did expect Chelsea to challenge for the title longer than they did. You know what? There's an interesting thing though. They lost 2 cup finals to the same team on penalties. And so imagine they could take one of the chances that they got, then things had gone a little bit different. If Kepa hadn't been so, boisterous when he was trying to save penalties, if, something goes different, right? You might be talking about it's a better season, but such are the margins. Let's talk about the ownership, because we touched on that. Now, we're going to talk about Todd Boehly, of course, who's going to come in. By the way, I don't know if you know, I just a quick question though. I think he looks like a young Kevin Costner. Does he look like a young Kevin Costner to you, or is it just me?
I saw your comment, and I didn't know at that time who Kevin Costner was, so I googled him, and I think there is some resemblance. But
you can watch him in Waterworld. If you watch him in Waterworld, I don't know if you've seen Waterworld, but if you watch his movie Waterworld, Yeah, you might. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, for anybody. Yeah, but if you have watched Waterworld, he looks
I
like
mean, if Kevin
from
Costner
Waterworld.
had an affair with Boehly's wife, he wouldn't know if it's his son or not. That's how I would put it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think Kevin Costner is that old, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if he looks like that, basically, to me at least, Kevin Costner from Waterworld. But if any of you haven't watched it, do check it out. It's a nice, it's not a great movie, but it's one that, for time pass or whatever, it's a nice movie to watch. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I think. But anyway, coming back to the serious stuff, so he's now coming in. What are your expectations from him as far as the summer is concerned? Because it is a massive summer for Chelsea, considering everyone's that's leaving. There's like a whole overall happening. And by the way, there's another point theme there as well. But all of that is happening. But what do you think? What are your expectations from Boehly as well as from Chelsea for the summer?
Well, to be honest, if you're gonna do well in a summer transfer window, you should have started the negotiating with players right now. The negotiations should start early, like we did when we bought under Jose Mourinho. And even last season, the negotiations started pretty early for quite a few players. We can't do that right now. We are still sanctioned. We are still a frozen asset. Roman is sanctioned. We are a frozen asset consequently. So we can't do that. So we got other teams comparatively have a head start compared to us. So in that sense, I don't know how much we'll be able to do this summer. Doesn't help that our best defender is leaving us. Along with Christensen, our attackers are not firing at all, right? So and we have quite a few wingers out there who probably won't be very happy with the chances that they have got this season. Let's say someone like a Werner or Pulisic or even Ziyech for that matter, right? So we might see one of them leaving. Kepa is an uncertain situation. He might want to leave. So if I look at our situation right now, I see more players going out than than I have an idea of who could come in. Right? Maybe so obviously defense would be the first thing that Boehly needs to sort out. But much before that, what he needs to sort out is the contract situation. We got into this mess because of the way we have handled our contract situations, right? We let Rudiger and Azpilicueta go down to the end of their contracts. So that can't happen, especially with players like Mason Mount and Reece James, right? So these two need to be given contract. I think Tuchel needs should be given a new contract, in my opinion. The way he has carried himself and way he had, what he has achieved this season. Some might not rate the season very highly. I think, like you said, it's an average season, but I think it's a very good performance from the coach, given the circumstances, the cards that he were dealt. This season. So he definitely needs his own team right now. He has only one signing, which is Lukaku, right? If we could call him his signing, I don't know, it might have been a board signing, but let's say it's his signing. So he has just one player, so he definitely needs to be backed. That's something. So there are a lot of things Boehly needs to address. It's not going to be an easy thing for him and his team to handle, because they got to take care of the contract situations of our players who are coming to the end of their contract, or who are valuable asset, like your Mason and Reece and N'Golo, these kind of players. Some of them needs to be let go as well. Probably people like Sarr, maybe one of the Timo Werner or Christian Pulisic, either of these. They might be planning to leave anyway. So we have quite a few things to address. The priority should be center back position, the defensive position, not just center back, the whole defense. Obviously we have two center backs departing, so we need someone to fill in that. But we also need a capable backup for Reece James and Ben Chilwell as well. At the left, probably we can make do with Alonso, and I think he's a good backup to have. I wouldn't, not my first choice, but I wouldn't diss him as a backup. So maybe someone at least to back Reece James, because when he was not there, I don't know who all Tuchel had to play as wing back. So that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. But first and foremost, the contract situations need to be sorted out for these key players.
What's interesting with negotiations, I think, also is that a lot of clubs seem to need overhauls this season. I mean, you've got Chelsea who needed a little bit, like they've got to replace the midfield probably as well as the defense. You've got Manchester United who obviously have to replace a whole squad at this point, the way that's going on.
If we could get a midfielder in the, someone like a Fabregas, someone who can unlock that defense, because we don't have that. Neither Jorginho, nor Kova, nor Kante, nor Mason. These are not that kind of players. Right? So probably maybe tell Jorginho thank you and sell him off.
Yeah, well, you do have Conor Gallagher coming back, so maybe.
I'm not sure if Conor Gallagher is a player in the ilk of Cesc Fabregas, because he also is kind of like a more of a number 10 kind of player, or at least that's how Vieira used him this season a lot. Right? Great player though, no doubt. But even him and now I forget Billy Gilmore. Both of them would be coming back, but neither of them again are that kind of player who would, who could make a through ball and unlock defenses like how Fabregas used to do. So we definitely need that kind of player, right? We can probably sell some of these older players who are relatively older and in favor of these youngsters, if that's what it comes to, because but we'll see. But I think before anything, because of our obvious gaps in defense, I think that would probably be a priority. We might go back to someone like a Kounde, which was a slip deal last summer. So maybe someone like him, we might go back again. But the thing is, everyone knows we need defenders, right? And so
that would be the issue, of course. Once teams know that we need something. But going back,
we are desperate for defenders. So
but going back to the overall point, I mean, Manchester United needed. Newcastle will probably get a whole new, get a few new players as well. And apparently,
I'm surprised there aren't much in news about what Newcastle are doing. I was expecting that probably by the time season ends, we would be hearing left, right, center that this guy is.
They are linked with Dean Henderson at the moment, and they do want Darwin Núñez. So those are the ones. It will be hard for them to attract players just right now, just based on where they are. But I think they will make some moves. And apparently Manchester City need players as well. I don't know why, but they need players. That's what their fans think. So, you've got all these teams. And so therefore, I think it's okay that Chelsea haven't started negotiations, but I think most players are kind of waiting till the end of the season to see what teams are out there and who needs what before things go. So maybe that still might work. Well, let's come to the players, and we'll talk about the players and the managers now. We have some interesting, and I'll start with the positive one first. I mean, we can't go through every player, obviously, we don't have the time. We'll start with one positive. Then I'll start with Trevor Chalobah, because I've been very impressed with the Matthew this season. I thought, for someone who's playing probably his first full season, he starts the cup final as well. That's pretty okay reasonably. I don't think he did too badly in the game. For someone at that caliber, I think it does help when you have a defender, even when you need defenders and you've got someone who can step in from the academy, you can get him there. How do you rate his first season at the club?
I'm pretty impressed. I think he's one to stay. I'm also looking forward to Levi Colwill. He would be another defensive player that could probably ease out our woes, the defensive woes that we foresee right now due to players leaving. But Chalobah is definitely one who should be a mainstay in the team next season. That's something we got to balance. It's another thing, Boehly and mostly Tuchel. I think it's mostly on Tuchel to make sure that whoever we buy for next season, doesn't come at the expense of the development of these young players. Because if you look at Levi or if you look at Trevor, both of these players are, have done pretty well, this season. So they definitely need to be given chances in the first team. And lately, when we have done that, when we have given our youth a chance, since Lampard days, it has turned out really well for us, right? So
well, Chelsea have always had the best academy for a while now. And for some reason,
we just
never took that next step. But I think it's
it never just like people didn't breakthrough. But the players, like if you look at players before Lampard came in, quite a few names made waves. But you had Nathan Ake, you had
Bamford,
Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
Bamford,
Bamford, Josh McEachran. I may be pronouncing his name
yeah,
wrong.
McEachran. Yeah, that's the
But
player that was we talked about, Josh McEachran. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
playing with him in
yeah,
FIFA.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if you look at where they are right now, so maybe, I mean, Ake was a good player, to be honest. But I don't know if he's not a first choice at City either, right? So maybe it wasn't too bad a decision, right, to not completely rely on them. Obviously, players that we have right now, if we talk about Mount, James, these guys, they are obviously well capable of being in first team. So we got to definitely look at that, right? Because obviously we are going to be overcharged right now. Everyone knows we are desperate. So instead of just splashing cash, and probably not getting enough worth our money, we might as well look into incorporating some of our youth players, right? And I don't even know if we are going to splash cash the way we used to do, because I don't know about Boehly. Obviously, he has spent like 4 billion or so on Chelsea. So, he would like to be successful for sure. He would like the club to be successful for sure. And Roman made sure there were enough clause for at least next 10 years for sustained investment. So that's good on him. But let's see how it happens. So
yeah, interesting times ahead. But talking about a negative, aside the positive, Romelu Lukaku, player who came with a lot of fanfare. He had a good start to the season, admittedly, but just tailed off. And again, then he did that interview,
didn't help.
which didn't really help matters at all. How do you see how do you see his season? Well, I mean, and two, what do you see his future? Do you see a future for Chelsea still?
Well, yes, simply because we have paid 100 million for him, right? 97 million is what we paid, and then there is his wage. So it's a big investment, right? So I don't think. I mean, if there is a good offer, right? If we get a offer in the same range as what we paid for him, I would say sell him, right? But that might not be the case. So in
I
that
can't
case,
see
I
who would
think,
want him though. Like, I mean, to be
yeah.
honest, I can't really see.
So yeah. So obviously, I think he would have had more chances this season had it not been for that interview. I think that really didn't do anyone any good. And good thing is, I think just before the final, his agent came out and said something about meeting with owner or something along that line. And it was good to see that Lukaku came out on social media and said no one speaks for me, and it's all not true, and something along the lines. So that's definitely good. But let's see. I'm still hopeful. I might be wrong, but I wouldn't be off by a lot. I think Lukaku is our top scorer this season. Somewhere along it, definitely top three. He might definitely be in top three. He still has like 13, 14 goals, across all competitions. So which tells you how bad our attack has been if he's in top three, right? So that's definitely there. But he's definitely in top three. So he should be given a chance. I mean, we don't really have much option as well. We have spent a lot on him, so he should definitely be given more chances next season, because I'm not quite sure. Despite all the hype around Broja or Broja, however you say, that he would be the guy to lead our line, at least in the immediate future.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely be something. They might have to go back and buy a striker, because if they do decide to get rid of Lukaku, and that's because the other striker is Timo Werner, and he's not necessarily very prolific either. So there are issues there, but I mean, that's something for the manager to sort out. Final question here for you, though. Well, actually, two questions, but this is the final big long answer question, as they say. But your thoughts on Tuchel this season? What do you think? All things considered, how do you rate his season?
Thoughts on Tuchel?
Yeah, Tuchel. Yeah, Thomas Tuchel.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty impressed by Thomas Tuchel. Just because of the way he has handled himself. that the whole when we had injuries, when we had I think nine players or so out of the team, no left back, no right back, defenders, central defenders out. He try. I could see like every game he was trying to put someone or change the system. Sometimes he played with all four center backs. Sometimes he played with four at the back. Sometimes five at the back. He tried different things. He tried everything he could to make sure that we could get the best out of those 11 people and get a good result. And we were always in top three, right? I mean, the gap is huge between first two and then three, but we were still always in top three. And then this Roman saga happened, and at that time, obviously it did impact the team. But that's not on Tuchel. The way he handled and still managed to get results, still took us to two finals. Unfortunately, we lost both of them, right, on penalties. But he still kept us competitive to the best that he could, right? And he rightly got a banner of his own. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah.
So I think he definitely earned that. And for me, that's his conduct throughout the season has been exemplary. I can't imagine had Mourinho been in this situation or some other coach, they would have, because media was continuously hounding him every time about sanctions, about what's happening with the new player. And I think it's down a bit to the board. I think they left him kind of on his own to field these questions. I think there should have been more communications from top level at Chelsea regarding these to the media, but it didn't happen. And Tuchel was the one who was fielding all these questions, and he was handling it remarkably well. I don't see a coach like Mourinho or someone as great as a coach he is and he has been, and what his history is with Chelsea. He probably wouldn't have handled it that way. So it definitely, he did everything, not just on the field to keep us competitive, but also to keep the noise out from the outside world. He didn't get into any controversies. He didn't really say anything that would bring undue pressure on the club and on the players. So I would say 10 out of 10 because we kind of didn't really not the best season in that sense, but 8 out of 10 definitely worthy of a new contract.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea's season, I don't think is reflective of Tuchel's ability as a coach. I think that two separate things, and I've been pretty impressed with Tuchel as well. Everything that he's done, the fact that the players still want to play, I mean, that's a big deal these days. Apparently, because certain players down tools when they don't like the manager or don't like the situation there, and so it's remarkable for Tuchel to do that. And I do think he gets a little bit under the radar because of everything that Pep and Klopp do. I think he sometimes gets unfairly compared to their achievements. I do think that, and maybe that's just the way the media bias works and whatnot. But all things said, I think he's had a good season as well as a manager. I will deduct points though for that FA Cup final because I thought he kind of blew it in the extra time period. And it's one game, but still,
I think the FA Cup final substitutions were horrible. I think he got it wrong, but
that's one game, and we can't really judge on that.
Yeah, I mean, and we didn't. I mean, we didn't have really a striker to replace Lukaku, so I don't know why he subbed him. Obviously Lukaku was shit that day, so
but he takes penalties. I mean, it probably should have known that he was going to go to penalty.
Yeah, he probably could have taken a penalty. Yeah. So definitely that wasn't his best day at the office, but you're gonna have that. I think we have played a huge amount of games, so that takes a toll on.
Along with Liverpool, you will play the most number of games because Liverpool are going to play as well. Once they play the Champions League, it will be the same 63.
Exactly. So with that and everything that's going on around. I think you're allowed a bad day at the office. So.
Yeah, it's too bad that those 2 bad days were my.
Just so happened that it was an FA Cup final.
Yeah, Chelsea were my hope to stop Liverpool from doing the quadruple. Anyway, we'll talk about whether they will do it tomorrow because we're going to do a preview. That's.
I don't see Man City.
No. Let's see that for tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm still totally nervous about that. But anyway, final question for you, Nishikant. Who's your player of the season? Lukaku?
No. It's a tough one between Mount and Rudiger for me, right? I would have brought on Reece James into the conversation, but he didn't play enough. Thiago Silva is a valid contender, definitely. The way he obviously plays. But I think if Rudiger was immense this season, and Mason Mount, his goal and assist, I think he's got some 29 goals assist contribution in 50 odd games or something. So from that, I'd give it to Mount. Personally, I think Mason Mount deserves the player of the season because that guy doesn't conduct himself like a 23-year-old. He's far more mature than that, right? So that also point. But it's I'm not happy about leaving Rudiger out, but I wouldn't have been happy leaving Mount out either. If I have to pick between these two, it's a hard decision, and I'd give it to Mount.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. Rudiger's leaving anyway, so I don't think he cares whether he.
Yeah, I mean he's leaving, and Mount's a Chelsea boy, but no hard feelings at all with Rudiger. I mean, he's incredible player. I think every Chelsea fan thanks him for everything that he has done, and his impact on the club. So definitely all the best to him.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean it's business at the end of the day, and people do what's best for their careers. I mean, I wouldn't begrudge if Harry Maguire wanted to leave United.
Yeah, and I don't think it's his. We should have never let Rudiger's contract go down to the last season. It's completely Marina and Board's fault. So.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't begrudge if Harry Maguire wanted to leave at the end of the season. I don't think anybody would. But anyway, with Chelsea need defenders, United have got a couple that they could sell if you want to talk to both.
Yeah, if you want to give Harry Maguire for free, I think you might as well take it. He would do well in back three system for us.
Probably would, yeah, for free. I mean, I would.
Ball playing defender, we'd ask him to, kind of like where Thiago is, sit at the back, don't venture out, and just pass the ball along like how Silva does it. He's a good passer of the ball, and good on ball.
His stats are very good. His stats are very good. He doesn't pass the eye test though. For me, it just looks like calamity with it. But anyway, we'll talk about why this is not the United show. This is the Chelsea show. So that's where we're at. But anyway, thank you so much, Nishikant, for joining me on the show. Always a pleasure. If you enjoyed this video, do remember to like it and share it. Also share your comments about Chelsea's season. What did you think? Do you think they underachieved? Do you think they overachieved? Where do you think it sort of fell apart? I feel it was a period when they had all those injuries. I think that's where it sort of went a little bit pear-shaped. But let us know what you think in the comments. I would always love to hear from you guys. And of course, remember to follow us on Facebook. And of course, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We always appreciate your support. And as I said, this is the first of many more season review shows that we're going to be doing. So do stay. If you do subscribe and you do get notified as these drop. And of course, we've got a big weekend coming up with the final games of the season. And we've got people. There's all sorts of things to talk about. We'll probably try to do that tomorrow before Sunday kicks in. But in the meantime, Nishikant, thank you so much for joining, and always a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I know you can. Yeah, you can relax now. The season is over. Almost.
Yeah, for us, the season is over.
Testimonial. It's like a testimonial game, a farewell game.
I'm already looking forward to the Champions League final, and partly also, to Spurs bottling their last game and letting Arsenal.
Well, I'm sure there'll be an interesting one to that. But anyway, all right. Thank you guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.